Welcome to the most wanted collectibles in the world! Dreamer Cats TV.
Do you like collecting? Then please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the like button. Everything that can be invented has been invented. Those were the crazy, famous words allegedly spoken by a commissioner at the US Patent Office at the end of the 19th century. How wrong could they have been? For the 20th century spawned more profound and significant inventions and discoveries than at any other time in the history of mankind. And I have the privilege to share with you a set of cards that will give you a glimpse of that epic time when television was non-existent and newspapers were colourless sheets read by the educated and privileged few. Wars are undoubtedly hugely destructive, and the First World War was one of the most horrific and deadly in living history. But what I find truly amazing about human beings is how, even in times of adversity, they can turn a bad situation into a good opportunity. Wars provide a springboard for developing new technologies. Look at the internet. That was conceived during the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the US. So I guess we should be thankful for all that and respect all those millions of dead war victims who made the technology that's currently at our fingertips possible.
I know you're going to be disappointed to learn that this particular card set does not feature the first ever military tanks. But this card set was put together about the same time that the tanks were introduced into the war, so they probably didn't have time, or they were trying to keep it secret. And so there you go. But a lot of the technologies and innovations that were used in the armoured vehicles, tractors and so forth that you're seeing here today would have been incorporated and would have inspired the first tank designs, such as this Caterpillar Tractor with tracks which were useful in rough terrain. This might have been produced by the firm with the same name, Caterpillar. I don't know. They called their tractors Holt Tractors or something, and the British Army ordered a number of those in the First World War. Trench warfare was extremely dirty, and hence here is what's called a motor bath for the soldiers to clean themselves and their clothes. Here's a couple of old London buses that were converted into troop carriers and painted khaki green so that they run seen. Motorcycles were widely used for speedy dispatches. Here's a motor fort with bulletproof side panels. Horses were still used in the First World War, and as you can imagine, they were susceptible to bullets and explosions and so forth, and so a lot of them were injured. And here's a motor horse ambulance. Disease was rife during the First World War. It was a massive war, a huge scale, so you can imagine there was a need for a motor laboratory for studying epidemics and so forth. Soldiers require refreshment. This is a motor restaurant. The Red Cross made an appearance in the First World War. This is a motor soup kitchen. Here's a motorcycle with a sidecar for an officer. The wireless telegraphy or radio communication was a very, very new technology in the First World War. And here's a wireless motor. As you can imagine, a lot of the motors broke down, especially at this early stage in their development. And so here's a motor repairing shop. Here's a picture of a very successful armoured car that was very mobile and compact. Aeroplanes were used for military purposes for the first time in World War I, but they were unreliable, hence they had motor cars that accompanied him that transported mechanic and also lots of spares like propellers and stuff. They were very resourceful during World War I. They converted, this is a converted taxi, converted into an ambulance. Camouflage was quite a hot thing in the First World War, as opposed to other wars where they wore brightly coloured uniforms. It looks as though they employed the services of Picasso to draw on the trees on this lorry. Here, as well as aeroplanes, they still used hot air balloons for observation, and here's a motor lorry that was used to transport deflated ones. Old and new technologies went side by side. Messenger pigeons were still used, and this is a picture of a motor pigeon cote. A lot of roads were insurpassable, so they got round this by building temporary railway tracks and converting motor cars into train engines. This is a tractor. The enemy blocked off lots of roads with barbed wire, and so here's a motor car ingeniously designed for cutting through barbed wire. This is a motor postal car, and also X-rays were quite a new thing during the First World War, and this is an X-ray ambulance. Okay, I hope you enjoyed looking through these wonderful cards. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to find out more about this particular item or other such items, please feel free to pop by my website at creamofcards.com. Please check out these great videos, and if your video's not included in this list, don't worry, I might add it to a future one.
Oh no, I'm afraid we've run out of time. But just before you go, please leave thumbs up below, and if you'd like to see more amazing video clips like this,
subscribe to the channel
by clicking on the icon up in the sky.
A Cream of Cards TV.